Alright guys, what is going on? Match reaction. Spurs 4, Manchester United 3, a 7-goal thriller, 6 bizarre goals, I would say. And Spurs go through to the semi-finals where they'll either play Liverpool, Arsenal or Newcastle. Yeah, just a very strange game of football, really. Very strange game. As a Manchester United fan, I'll touch on them first. I was happy with the way we played. I think where Manchester United are at the minute, um, obviously results matter, but I think performances matter more. And I was very happy, very pleased with the way we played tonight. I think, yes, our goals were lucky, but I think in the first half we created some opportunities, but we just couldn't find the back of the net. And I think we're clear, and I think we're clearly now starting to see a plan for Manchester United, a style of playing. It's getting there very slowly. Turtle speed, very slowly, but it is getting there because you can see something. And that's for me is the biggest positivity to take out of that tonight. Yes, the result is damaging, it's hurtful, to not go through to a semi-final. It's disappointing. But for me, it's all about seeing the performances for Manchester United for the remaining of the season. Because Amorim didn't have a pre-season, had to come in, midway through the season and, try and coach these players to the 3-4-3 system that he likes to play. And it's very difficult. But I think we are slowly starting to see it develop. But we ended up losing the game. And, fair play to Spurs. They took their chances when they came to them. And, we can't be too disappointed, because we went 3-0 down in this game. And it's very hard to come back from a 3-0 deficit. Yes, we nearly did it, but we fell short ultimately. And, touching on Spurs, back-to-back wins for Spurs. Beat Southampton 5-0 on the weekend just gone. And they'll beat Manchester United 4-3 in the Carabao Cup quarter-final to make it to a semi-final. And, is this the year that Spurs actually win a trophy? Is this finally the year that they do it? And puts to rest this conversation of, Spurs have never won a trophy. Because I do think Spurs could win the Carabao Cup. I always feel like with Spurs, I never think they're going to win the Premier League. I think the FA Cup, they're never going to win either. Champions League, Europa League, they're never going to win. I think it's always been the Carabao Cup for me that Spurs could win. And I think they've got a really, really good chance of winning it this year. Yes, the semi-finals are stacked. They're stacked. It's a very, very good semi-final lineup for the Carabao Cup this year. But I think if you're Spurs, you probably want Newcastle, to be honest. Because no offence to Newcastle, they are the weakened team in this. No offence to them, they just are the weakest team out of Arsenal or Liverpool that Spurs could get. So yeah, I think if you're a Spurs fan, you want Newcastle. If you get Arsenal or Liverpool, then it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult indeed. But yeah, big win for Spurs. I think both of it was a very even game. If we touch on the game a little bit, it was a very even game. I do think United edged it, but Spurs edged the result, and that's the main factor. That's the main thing. That's what football is about, the results. It's not about who plays better in games. It's about getting that result, and Spurs managed to get over the line tonight, and fair play to them. It was a very enjoyable game tonight, very enjoyable game, 7 goals, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though we lost, I still enjoyed it. But let's talk about the goals, because there are 7 of them to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. So Spurs take a 1-0 lead inside 15 minutes. Dominic Solanke with the goal, scores again against Manchester United. Solanke, he loves to score against United. Solanke, it really does. But it's a free kick to Spurs. Maddison plays it to Son, who's on the left-hand side. Son then plays it to the edge of the box to Pedro Porro. No one's closing Porro down. Porro allowed to take a shot. Bayenda makes the save. Bit of a weird save by Bayenda. I think he may be unsighted. A few bodies in front of him. Bayinda makes the save, and Dominic Solanke's there on the rebound to pounce it and put it in the back of the net. And now United defenders are sleeping. They're just sleeping, the United defenders. You know, they're all on the edge of the box, United defenders, and they just don't react to the ball. Solanke reacts to the ball quickest, and like any good striker, that's what they do. They react to the ball quickest. They know, they read where the goalkeeper's going to put the ball. Solanke read where Bayinda was going to put the ball. And it's a very good finish by Solanke. Very tough finish. Hits it on the half volley side foot. Goes at the near post, and it goes posted in. And Spurs take a 1-0 lead. And yeah, you know, I think on the balance of play, again, it was quite an even game throughout the whole game. Really, it really was quite an even game. And then right at the start of the second half, Spurs make it 2-0. United again at the start of second half, falling asleep again, conceding goals. Seriously, this is something that Amorim really needs to sort out, because it's a big problem us at the start of the second half. Kulusevski with the goal this time. And Lisandro Martinez is at fault for this one. I don't know what he's thinking, don't know what he's doing. I mean, it's a good play between Son and Maddison. Maddison makes a really good run off Son behind him. Son plays it into him. Maddison gets in the cutback, and you know, Martinez, he's just got to boot it out. He's got to boot out Lisandro Martinez. I don't know what he's doing. He tries to like a little flick. I think he's trying to pass inside his own box. It's bizarre. I don't know what he's doing, Martinez, and ultimately Lisandro Martinez cost us this game. But yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Kulusevski, falls to Kulusevski, and he's not going to miss from there. Bayinda's got absolutely no chance. He's got no chance, Bayinda. Kulusevski puts it into the back of the net. 2-0 Spurs. And then it went from bad to worse for Manchester United. 3-0 to Spurs. Dominic Solanke in the 54th minute. 2 goals for Spurs in 8 minutes. And this goal was probably the best goal of the lot of them, really. Solanke gets played through. He's up against Lisandro Martinez. Solanke cuts in on his right foot. I mean, it's poor defending from Martinez, I must say. Solanke, he gets to his position far too easily, in my opinion. Manages to get the shot away. Solanke goes across the keeper. Bayinda can't get down quick enough. I think it does go through the legs of Johnny Evans, to be fair to the keeper. And yeah, Spurs 3-0 up just out of nowhere. You know, I was saying in the watch along, I can't believe we're 3-0 down. Like, it just came out of nowhere. Like, it was not a 3-0 game at this point. It was just not a 3-0 game. And, you know, 3-0 is usually game over in ties. But, you know, I think under Amorim, Manchester United are showing that we are not giving up. You know, we're going to try and come back into it. And we did try and come back into it. Forster, in the 63rd minute, Forster makes a horrible mistake. An absolute horror show, this by Fraser Forster. He tries to pass it to, I think, Dragusin. Completely misplaces it. Bruno intercepts it. Bruno squares it to Xerxes. Xerxes can't miss. And it's game on. 3-1. You know, you're thinking, oh, here we go again. Spurs bottling it again. This is what they do. And then 7 minutes later, it was 3-2. Amad Diallo again scoring for Manchester United. What form that man is in, Amad, at the minute. Unbelievable form. Fraser Forster again. I mean, if you thought his first mistake was bad, this one is 10 times worse. It's very rare you see a goal like this in football, in my opinion. Very rare. Amad closing down the goalkeeper, sprinting at the goalkeeper, closing him down, slides in. Forster hits it against him, trying to clear it, and it goes in the back of the net. 3-2. 3-2 to Spurs. 2 mistakes by Forster. And it is now game on. Game on. And, you know, United are throwing everything at it. You know, Mazraoui had such a good chance to make it 3-3. He probably should have pulled it back to Xerxes, but he went for the shot on his left foot, which went just wide. Amad had a shot from long range, which Forster decided to save with his foot. You know, Forster was bizarre that game. He really was. United were throwing everything at it. And then Spurs got a corner in the 88th minute. And I said on the watch along, I'm starting to lose faith. Not knowing Spurs were going to score from this corner. Not from this corner, from the corner. They actually scored from the corner. Heung-min Son, directly from the corner. United concede another corner goal. You know, water's wet. What a surprise that is. I just go straight in. Bayindir's, thinks he's fouled. I don't really know if he is fouled, to be honest. I'm not too sure. Yes, Bergvall, I think, does go ahead of him and swipes his own arm down, but I'm not sure. 4-2 to Spurs. Then it was game over at that point. That was the clincher for Spurs, and they got it directly from the corner. But United still knocking at the door, make it 4-3. Johnny Evans from a corner. United actually scoring a corner goal for once this season, which is a nice surprise. Corner whipped in at the near post. I think it was by Ahmad, and Johnny Evans flicked it on into the back of the net for 4-3, but there just wasn't enough time for United to find another goal, unfortunately. But a crazy game of football. It really was very entertaining. The Carabao Cup matches, actually, today and yesterday, have been very entertaining. They've been very enjoyable to watch. But congrats to Spurs. It's going to be interesting to see who they play in the semi-final. If you're watching this, you probably already know who they've got in the semi-final. And as for United, we bow out in the quarter-final stage. Gutted. But that's football. Can't do anything about it. Just got to move on now and try and win our next Premier League game. But guys, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you later.